I am, as mentioned, Rupesh Soni from Facilitate Namibia. We've been St. Pulse partners for close to about 3 years now, trying different ways to, just find new ways to do marketing, new channels, new automation. And obviously, since last few years, all of us have been using a lot of AI. But often we don't know what we can do with AI. What is it that AI can help us with when it comes to marketing? So this webinar is going to be a bit different than usual ones, which show you how a tool works. This is more about how we can use AI for better marketing decisions and understanding better to then use the tools like SendPulse to do more. Um, there is a lot of content. I'll try to get through all of it within the time, but feel free to ask questions um, on the chat here, comments here. During my presentation, if there's something, if you post a comment, I'll definitely look at it. And the presentation will also be shared with everyone. During the webinar, we will go over just the basics of AI in marketing, the trends, tools, how to implement that, and the future of AI in digital marketing, the ethics, the use cases, all of that. Before we dive in, this is something I always tell people. It's extremely important to understand, why do we need AI? When you're in marketing, especially, this is what happens around the world in 1 minute. In 1 minute, 231 emails are sent, 3.4 million YouTube videos are watched, 452 hours of Netflix content is streamed. TikTok, Snapchat, 3.5 million snaps created in 1 minute. Instagram, Facebook. These are all different platforms. Now, you as a marketing company, this is what we compete with on a daily basis. When you have content that needs to be shown to the demographics, how do you analyze it? And this is where AI comes in as a very critical, extremely important tool these days to kind of put all of this in context, to tell us what's happening with our content on these platforms, what's the best way to approach, what kind of people, what market, everything around it. Why marketing in AI? Why AI in marketing analytics? Like I showed before, there's a lot of data around social media, CRM systems, your own lead generation platforms, channels. How do you understand what's happening? What AI can do is tell you real time, recognize the patterns, recognize what's happening between your different campaigns, and tell you exactly what is happening and how to change it, how to adapt it to better fit the needs of the demographics you're targeting. Most of the marketing companies, I'm sure all of you guys are using AI. You're using ChatGPT for daily work, for presentations, for different productivity needs. But how many do really use AI for analytics, to understand what's happening, to run campaigns from A to Z? A lot of customers and right now are expecting market customization. They want something which we'll cover later, is called hyper personalized campaigns. They want to be told exactly what they want. They don't want to see everything else. People don't have time to see a few things to decide what's right for them. When people receive emails or text suited to them, they definitely like it better, they interact better. It's like you know what they're thinking, what they want. And that's where AI comes in extremely handy. What is AI-driven marketing analytics? So basically, you have data, which is through your campaigns, CRM systems, social media platforms, chats, lead generation channels, then AI models that can analyze a lot of it, the analytics and the data you have, and then tell you what's happening, what you can do with it. This is, in the basic few words, this is what AI-driven marketing analytics is. Why does it matter? Again, data is everywhere. We have so much data. We have too much data. We don't know how to clean it, we don't know how to manage it. This is where AI comes in very handy to help you clean the data, manage it, understand the patterns. It can tell you exactly what some of your demographics is interested in within seconds, which used to take us a long time to understand, going through a lot of documents. And then at competitive advantage, once you have all of that in place, definitely gives you a lot more advantage compared to your competition in the same markets. Traditional analytics and AI driven analytics. Most of the analytics we used to do is always backward looking. So we used to look at what we have and then analyze and go forward. Now with AI, a lot more emphasis is on forward looking predictions. So it can immediately tell you what's happening right now. And within hours, if you look at the campaigns you run on Facebook and Google, it can tell you immediately how to change. It can predict what's happening and tell you exactly how to fine tune your campaigns instead of spending a long time understanding it. We used to have manual interpretation. Right now, it's all automated generates insights, automated analytics. We used to have static reporting dashboards. We used to have one format we used for the company. Now AI can tell us exactly what analytics are useful in dashboards, how to highlight those, and it can dynamically change it using some of the platforms I will go through. Traditional analytics used to be limited to structured data. Right now, we have a lot of unstructured data. We even use voice to tell AI, this is what's happening. How do you do this and this and this? And it understands it. A lot of just normally written data is accepted by AI. In traditional analytics, used to be query based, where you have to ask it and or ask the data and you would find answers. Right now, it can actually detect everything. If there's something not right, something there's abnormal, and tells you, okay, but this event happened. That's why your results are better or less than usual. Something that humans tend to miss. So we started from 2000s. That's when website analytics, email analytics, demographics started coming in. 2010 to 2015, we had a lot of talk about big data, multi-channel data collection, behavioral insights, which went on a bit later. AI actually started coming in already 2016, where you would see a lot of automation coming in based on predictive modeling instead of usual insights. And obviously, once ChatGPT and others came in, you can see how things have changed. There are lots of self-optimizing campaigns where Facebook, Meta, and others will email you saying you're within hours to say your campaign is performing this way. Click here, we'll optimize it for you, and it's done. You don't have to spend time worrying about a lot of it. The benefits, obviously, it's real-time insights. You get a lot more deeper analytics of what's happening, a lot more efficiency. So you can spend time on expanding your market rather than trying to fine tune what your current demographics is. And then predictive power. Nobody can beat the power of AI when it comes to predictive. People are seeing 20-30% return on investments on average on AI powered analytics. What one can do, and if you guys are using platforms to consolidate your social media data, for example, try putting in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year data, the PDF files to AI, to Gemini, ChatGPT, and say, look, tell me what's happening. Tell me how I can improve it. And you'll be surprised how much data it can give you. The scope of AI-driven marketing analytics. So what can you do? What are the different parts of marketing can you look at using AI? With customers, we always struggle with understanding the behaviors, segmentation, especially when you have a product that's very niche, it's focused on certain demographics. A lot of times we struggle on behavior of our customers on different platforms, and AI can help you with a lot of that. Campaign optimization, budget allocation, and especially in a lot of upcoming developing countries, the biggest challenge is spending a lot of money to reach most of the people. And this is where AI can tell you exactly in the last year what you have spent, what the results have been, analytics of each of that campaign and tell you exactly how to target the future campaigns to the demographics. Product development, which can also be a virtual product. So if you're a company that does marketing campaigns for people, that's your product. You do specialized Instagram or TikTok reels, that's your product. Using all your analytics and your content, AI can tell you these videos will work or this won't, or how can you improve your videos to target the specific clients. And that's something we don't use enough of. And then competitive intelligence is where we don't use AI enough to understand other companies, other campaigns, other marketing agencies, to understand what they are doing and what we can do better with it. Again, in different markets, AI is being used in marketing for almost everything from finance, healthcare, B2B, e-commerce, retail. And it's not just marketing. With marketing, it also comes with fraud detection. You need to understand how AI can help specific campaigns, not just to tell people about a product, but also get feedback to understand if there are bots and fake clicks and fake data is being given to you. So a lot of that can be eliminated once you start using some of the platforms. Data. They say you cannot have AI without data. You cannot market without data. You cannot sell without data. And without having a proper data collection channel, nothing is easy. If you use SendPulse, you see they have unified channels. They have a CRM system which collects data from emails, chatbots, leads, pop-ups, all of these. Everything is data. And without having clean, useful data, nothing is really useful. You can't do anything with it. And this is where, if you look at AI, everything is about data, data, data. Collect the data, integrate your data, process your data, and then understand how you can use data better. You see the next slide, you will see collect data, process it, train the models, deploy, action, and feedback loop, where it goes back to the original data, fine tunes it. And all of this can happen within minutes, hours, days, depending on the size of your data or the campaign you're running. But it's extremely important that one does set up and understand the whole loop and the pipeline, without which it's quite difficult to achieve proper results. Again, data driven. Traditional used to be manually demographic grouping. Now AI tells you what's happening the best. We used to target broad audience, say everybody in a certain country, UK, India, wherever. Now AI can tell you exactly where in that country, which city, what's the best way to reach those people. Same with positioning. Sentiment analysis is a very huge part of AI, where there are some platforms which allow you to actually understand what people are chatting about you and your brand. AI can go through all your Facebook and social media comments and tell you exactly people are being negative, positive, what's being discussed, people are complaining, everything around it. And not just text, also on audio. There's a platform called speak.ai, which allows you to analyze audio and tell you exactly how people are finding your brand on radio or podcasts. And marketing. Usually we used to look at historical performance, and now AI can use it immediate results for future prediction to tell you the best way to price, place, and promote the product. In basics of AI, three main types, where we have machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. A lot of times we forget that computer vision is actually extremely important. That is where you can actually send a screenshot to the computer or a chart or a table view and say, look, analyze it quickly. You don't have to give data in the traditional Excel sheet or PDF files like we used to. And going back, also visualizing data, if you look at your reels, your YouTube videos, you can actually give AI your video, your content, and tell it, ask it, what do you think? How can I improve it for younger people? How can I improve it for certain demographics? And it will give you ideas and suggestions on it. Again, machine learning, um, we have supervised learning, which is where we understand, we control from the whole process from A to Z. Unsupervised, where you can train your AI. Reinforce, where you have to keep always checking what's happening. And then deep learning, which is a lot more detailed and in-depth. And a lot of most of the marketing companies wouldn't go into that. Every AI marketing solution, and this is where one has to understand, every AI solution has a different algorithm. We need to know, as we go further, I'll talk about it, how everybody needs to know, every company needs to have an idea of what AI you will use, why you will use it, how you will use it, and then start implementing it. It's not something you can just go to ChatGPT and start using. You can, but you will reach a stage where there will be a lot more confusion than a streamlined process. NLP, natural language processing, is where AI can listen in on social media, get a lot of reviews. People are using it for your Google reviews, where you can upload all the Google reviews and App Store and other reviews. So AI can tell you exactly what you're missing. How can you improve your product or offering? Conversational marketing, which is everywhere. Everybody's chatting to chatbots on every website. And then optimization. A lot of um, this has transformed completely how we work with marketing, how we interact with customers. Again, imagine you have a chatbot on Facebook, Instagram, website, you have WhatsApp, you have different channels. How do you bring all the data together without proper platforms so that you can then analyze them well? I'm pretty sure most of us, we use Excel sheets, Google Sheets, data everywhere. We use Google Forms, so the data is on a Google Form sheet somewhere. And these are the smaller things one needs to look at and kind of streamline them so that we can analyze it better. Predictive analytics in marketing, it's happening a lot right now. You will always wonder, why is it that I look at something on Google and it pops up? Why do I think of something and Facebook is listening to me and it shows me an advertisement for it? But subconsciously, a lot of this is because of predictive analytics. Everything you do, if you chat to friends on WhatsApp or Instagram, look at a product, all of these come together to create a picture of you, a persona of you. And that's where, with predictive analysis, it knows exactly how likely you are to look for a certain product, to look for a certain holiday, to look at doing something in particular. It's extremely difficult to explain it on video, but if you look into it, you will see how the technology works. The other one is prescriptive analytics. So you predict something and then you prescribe it. So it's like a prescription for a problem, medication. Prescriptive analytics, a lot of it comes down to now AI and the platforms telling you exactly how to use the data, how the results, to then do better analytics, to better run your campaigns, to better plan the demographics you want to market to. Prescription analytics can also tell you a lot more on how to spend the budget. If you tell AI, this is what we spend on marketing, this is what we do on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, this is what we spend, these are the results from it, it can give you a proper prescription to say, okay, this is what you do. In the next month, spend so much on this, so much on this platform. These are the audiences. These are the times you must market to the audience, and you will see a massive change in how people engage with your product. Real-time decision making, if you see, a lot of the AI gets the data, uses the data, and then gets more data to fine-tune your data, and it's a continuous loop. A lot of the data, you will be surprised how quickly it identifies it. And if you think AI is slow, you must just try and give a YouTube link or something, or a long 3-hour video link to an AI and say, please tell me the whole 3-hour video in 2 minutes. And it takes a few seconds to tell you everything. That's how quickly it can process it. So a lot of this is happening very quick, very immediate, instantly. And once you fine tune your AI models or your processes, what you will realize is you can actually automate a lot of it. You can tell AI, okay, if this happens, do this. This happens, you need to start giving AI a bit more permission to start taking decisions. Hyper personalization is what I talked about before. Same thing. We used to have mass segmentation where we would say, show it to everybody who is between 20 and 30. Then it started becoming a lot more behavior based. Then we said, show it to everyone between 20 and 30 who drink coffee or who do a certain thing. Then it started becoming a lot more personal, where you say, okay, now that we know what people are doing, show it to people who do A, B, and C. On Facebook, you can actually tell people on the audience creation side that if somebody's pregnant, if somebody's expecting a baby, if somebody's just got married, if somebody's just got engaged, what ads to show them. All of this, there are millions of combinations one can do. How do you do it? And this is where the personalized prediction comes in, where AI can actually now tell you, based on what's happening, immediately change it, uh, tailor the interactions. It's like what Samples also offers in terms of if a person has done this, quickly you can send them an email, send them a message. A lot of it is AI based, and now with segmentation in Samples, one can really use AI and WhatsApp or the chat channels to say, okay, as they engage more with the AI, with the bot, how do we show them what they want or what they need instead of a lot more engagement and wasting time with it? Like you said, automation in AI analytics, customer segmentation. Like I just mentioned, a lot of people now use it to analyze not just what you do, but what you've purchased, what you browse. And we might think, okay, cookies on websites are there, they track you. Even if you turn off cookies, there are lots of other ways to understand your behavior. Uh, there are lots of trends that people follow, songs you use, songs you listen to, reels you, if you watch a reel more than 5 seconds, suddenly they know what you like, what you don't like. If you watch a product ad more than 5 seconds, they will know what you like, what you don't like. You don't have to click anything. You just have to sit and watch, and they start understanding what's happening. And then you go into certain segments you might not want to, but that's how AI works. It knows your behaviors and it starts kind of putting you in those boxes. If you look at campaign optimization using AI, you'll see people have saved over 50% of their time adjusting campaigns, which is big when you're in marketing. A lot more click-through rates. A lot of big companies are now using almost fully AI-based campaigns. If you have tried one of the Google platforms recently, Google Ads, you will see how everything is focused on AI. From creating the ad, the headlines, the text, up to creating videos and photos for your ad, everything is now done by AI, by Gemini. So a lot of times when we talk about content creation, we forget about curation. This is where, yes, we can have AI-based headlines, SEO, optimized websites, product descriptions using e-commerce. But what we forget is to then curate the content to be able to sort it in the database. Content is one part of it. The data you get from the content needs to link directly to the content. Not sure if that really makes sense. What I mean is, when you have AI generated content, one needs to understand how the content performs so you can better curate it, work on it, tag it, categorize the people who come to the website or engage with your product on virtual platforms. The same way video recommendation engine optimization works. Just as an example, how do they know what you like? So if you have a platform which suggests videos based on AI generated headlines, one needs to understand what works, what doesn't work. And that curation is extremely important for growth. Because if you don't have that, if you don't understand the impact of your content that's AI created, you will just start using it more and more without understanding what it brings to you, how to rather optimize it. Just as a use case, how do you measure campaigns effectiveness? Multi-touch attribution. I don't know if any of you have used Microsoft. I'm trying to think of the name. It's like Google Analytics. It's Microsoft Analytics for website. It's it records your process on the website with a video. It can track where your mouse was, up, down, left, right, what you clicked, how many times you clicked, how much you scrolled, and it shows it as a video to the site owner. So using that and AI, it can extremely accurately predict what people are doing on the website, where do they stop, what link, what part of the button they click on. Is it top left? Is it the middle? All of that. Where do they touch on the website when you're using on the phone? Are they clicking too many times? Are they scrolling too much on the phones? All of that is being tracked now on the website. And they're calling it attention metrics. How much attention are you paying on the website, on the content? Same with videos, same with photos, same on your social media. If you have photos, how many people are actually looking at photos longer, certain photos shorter? Are they browsing through your photos? Or are they actually spending time on it, or the reels? A lot of it comes down to measuring campaign effectiveness effectively across all forms of media and all your platforms. And something we forget is that everything you do online is being tracked, is being monitored. If you are the marketing company, then you're on the other side. You're not the user. You want that data. You want to try and use that data for your growth. Multi-channel campaigns is what I talked about earlier, like something that Samples provides, where you need to be able to have a journey for a customer uniform and streamlined across all your platforms. It might be WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, website, Telegram, emails, everywhere. The customers need to feel they don't have to explain you again. You need to be able to identify as the right customer. You need to be able to continue their journey where they left off. You cannot ask customers to keep giving you the same information across the channels. And that's something AI can help with, but AI can also help you fine tune it and streamline it, tell you what kind of messages work on what platforms, what creative elements work for what kind of audiences. So you can start optimizing it for them and not lose the customer because they get frustrated. They say, no, I don't want to give my name again because it's WhatsApp. You should know it was a person who came from Instagram to WhatsApp. Same thing I talked about now. It's like it starts from awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty. The moment you are aware of what your clients want, AI can help you consider what they want, how to approach it. You convert the clients. And the moment you have loyalty, you have a repeat client and you have a lot more referrals through that repeat client. Sounds very easy, but that whole loop takes a long time to achieve, especially when you have a lot of products you want to offer, or you have different clients doing different products. Becomes a challenge. So you need to have a system in place for that. Revolutionizing customer experience with AI insights. People love if the solutions are resolved very quickly. If it is an AI-based assistant, you need to make sure that it's the fewest steps you reach the answer. It's with the fewest steps you can reach to the answers. Me as a customer don't want to wait too long, don't want to answer too many questions. The AI needs to be able to understand your issue and immediately respond. There is a hosting company called Hostinger. If you go use their WhatsApp, the chatbot on the website, you will see how quickly they reach an answer. With SendPulse, it's usually people. But what I have experienced with SendPulse, is even though it's person answering you, it's almost always immediate because they have systems in place for them to get the right answer to you very quickly. So it doesn't matter if it's client facing or something agents use. As long as you have the systems in place, you will see people will be extremely happy and satisfied. And again, it comes down to loyalty. People will grow, your company will grow if you can do that. Same thing with as an example, Starbucks. Used to be that everybody got the same rewards. You go there, you get a free coffee. But the more it knows about you and the more it understands your behavior, now they have been able to actually offer personalized gifts, free drinks, food to the people based on their information, based on their likes, based on their visits, based on their purchase patterns. And this you can replicate in almost every sector if you have the right data. Healthcare, also people are using a lot more where AI can actually predict if people are likely to miss, if it's during, for example, if people are coming in for kids for a certain thing and it's the appointment is during school hours. It's something AI picks up quickly to say, look, there's a chance they won't come because there's school. It's a daytime, parents have work. There are lots of different combinations it analyzes to understand and tell you exactly what's happening and what's the best time for what patients to come in. Spotify, exactly the same. If you look at YouTube and Spotify, people have started, they've started using AI to tell you exactly what you want to listen to, and it's songs that you like. You will skip less, you will listen more. So, popular tools. If you see platforms like Adobe has Sensei, Firefly, Salesforce has their own tool. Lots of these companies, almost everybody has tools for enterprises, right down to a student for free. One needs to understand what tools are the best, do some research, look at what you want to achieve. And the best way to actually understand what tools you need is to actually tell ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, tell the AI models, look, this is what we do, this is what we want, this is what we want to achieve. What are the best tools? Give me a whole structured plan. Um, and it will tell you what's the best to use. Surprisingly, Google Analytics is actually still one of the best one to analyze websites, apps, interactions. Tableau and Microsoft Power BI, business intelligence is actually a lot more because you need to provide data to it. The one I use personally is called Google Looker Studio, which allows you to link analytics, website. They have a lot, hundreds of tools you can connect, different platforms you can connect to, and it works. It's easy to make dashboards. It's easy to analyze your data and make it a lot more pleasant to look at. Obviously, if you Google it, there are hundreds of tools out there. Right now, there are about 14,000 marketing platforms out there. And it becomes a challenge every time you want to use something. So sometimes simple is the best. Let me give you an example. SendPulse allows you to link WhatsApp, bots, lead generation, CRM, emails, everything to Google Sheets. You link everything to Google Sheets and link Google Sheet to Google Looker Studio. It uses Google Sheet as the source and makes it look nice. Sometimes simple is easy. There are lots of free platforms out there. Start using them. Look at the best way you want to show your clients the data, the nice looking data. Somebody asked now, Chloe, if I can recommend some AI tools that can help with setting up analytics from scratch. It's difficult. What analytics? Is it for website, social media, analytics from what platforms? What do you want to do with it? Depending on that, definitely there are tools out there I can suggest. Dynamic dashboards is something we talked about earlier, where people can see your data but also play around with it visually. They don't change it, but they can try different combinations. Especially clients, you want to tell clients or give clients dashboards that they can change. not a static one. And that's where Google Looker Studio, Tableau, and Microsoft BI come in. Visualizations need story. People love when they can see where it comes from and where it's going instead of just a chart that shows simple growth. That's something one needs to start looking at. And then predictive displays, where it can tell you a lot more of what's happening in the future to quite accurate uh, prediction. Data visualization, like I said, it's BI, Looker Studio, CRM. I personally use SendPulse for most of the CRM and marketing side of things for all the WhatsApp bots, chat bots, all of them. And for each client, we then decide where the data should be. Should it go to the client's API via API to client CRM, or should it go to Google Sheet or stay in SendPulse and then send it to client? Adobe also has analytics. That's something a lot of people don't realize. Um, Again, it depends. Like Chloe asked, what's the best analytics? What do you want to do with it? Who is your client? Will your clients understand charts? Is it something you need to analyze and then send it to client? Do you need reports? Do you need to make it look very nice? There are many questions around it. So again, I would suggest, I'm happy to answer the questions, but I would also suggest please ask your AI models, what's the best that works for you to make it easy, make it possibly streamlined with the least amount of platforms that you need to use. Integration. Like I said, CRM, when you're a big company, you use Salesforce, HubSpot, but you need to have integration from CRM to whatever your lead generation platform is. So it doesn't matter if you use HubSpot, Salesforce, or SendPulse's built-in CRM. You need to be able to have API access. You need to be able to automate a lot of this data that goes in and out and the interactions. Without which it doesn't help having AI. Like I mentioned again previously, multi-channel campaigns like SendPulse and others are the future. That's where the world is going. You don't want to log into 5 different places for different channels. You don't want to go to Meta and then MailChimp and others. If one can automate it and streamline it, centralize it, that's where everything is going right now. Social media listening tools like Brandwatch. There's another one called Social Elephants. There are a few others. If you just search social media listening, there are ones that are very cheap to enterprise level. They help you listen on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And whenever your brand is mentioned, whenever people comment, it can tell you exactly what's happening. It can tell you how many people are talking about your brand, tell you if it's positive or negative. It can even, some of the tools can even respond on your behalf on those platforms to comment. If it's negative, it responds differently. If it's positive, it responds differently. But that's where a lot of marketing agencies are now going to start using social media listening tools. Ad creative generators is obviously, I know almost everybody uses Canva, but there are Persona, there are a lot of Adobe Firefly, there's Microsoft Designer, Adobe Express, lots of them out there to create creative ads based. Again, you can link most of these platforms to your data to create something a lot more dynamic. So for example, with Canva, you can upload a CSV file, create a basic template, and there's something, if you right click on text, it says bulk data. When you link it, it can create 100 reels or 100 photos within seconds, with different text, different content, different headline. And then you just change the background and there you have it. So there are lots of these things that are there. In the natural language, ThoughtSpot, Tableau, you can actually chat to them. Even now, Google Sheet, you can chat to your data, which is something we need to start often doing. If you have a basic analytics spreadsheet, upload it on Google Sheets, and then on the right, you will see Gemini, and then you can say, okay, tell me about this, tell me about that, tell me what age groups are watching most of the videos. It will go through it and tell you all of that. So it's something we need to start doing more, is start chatting to your own data. How do you align your business with your AI processes? First, always I tell people, what do you want out of it? What do you want? What's the return? What's your expectations? If you are a small hotel with 10 rooms, the maximum you can get is 3,650 room nights a year. You cannot do more than that. So do you really want to market too much? You need to know what is your deliverable on a particular project, what is the expected return, and what is the end goal. Lead generation, is there somewhere the clients are going? Is there something you're selling? Is there some way to kind of analyze or track what's happening once you've campaign is started running? There are, again, quick wins, long-term value. Sometimes you just want to do for brand marketing without any feedback, just fine. But you still need to be able to understand what works, what doesn't work. Cross-functional alignment is where you have different platforms, different channels, sales, support, actual clients. All of these are different ways to get insights. And then using AI, then you know how do you prioritize what? If you're doing a lot of sales, but your customer service is wrong or is bad, AI needs to be able to understand that data or have that data and tell you, you know what, you're spending too much money on marketing, but you're not getting any response or returns because people are not happy with your customer service or your sales agents who might be rude. So all of that data is important to have as a company to be able to analyze and give you a bigger picture. Always, like I said, business objectives first. Then you decide what channels are you using and how are you funneling the data in. Then you decide what frameworks you're going to use. And is that going to help you be competitive in your field? And that can only happen when you start getting feedback from the other three. Once you have that loop set up, you will see how you're doing compared to the competition. There are platforms that allow you to set up your clients' websites, socials, and it will analyze it, compare it with your own, and tell you where you're going wrong and what you should do to compete with them. Framework. Nothing is possible without people and having the right people. Like I always say, AI is not going to take your job. You will not lose your job to AI. You will lose your job to somebody who knows how to use AI. And that is a constantly changing landscape. You need to keep up to date. You need to learn daily, if not every other day. Once you have the people, you need to have the processes in place, technology in place, and the governance, which is where the ethical use of AI comes into place. It's extremely important that you have that in place so that you don't get sued or you don't have incorrect data or you misuse people's information. How do you start with that AI driven analytics? You start with it by understand, are you ready for it? Do you actually have the data? Do you actually have everything in place to start using it? Start with one or two cases. Don't completely go in on AI until you know what process and what stages work for what platforms. And like I said, clear objectives. Make sure you know what you want to achieve with AI or your campaigns using AI and by when. Small wins. Always start with one or two small projects, compare, and then slowly scale up. Nothing will happen immediately with AI or any campaigns. If you just go all in, it's like spending $10,000 on a Facebook campaign and then expecting it to work. It doesn't always work. What it does is it gives you a lot of fake leads and waste a lot of time with unnecessary inquiries and contacts that you don't need. That's not your target. Building a team, like I said, you need to have all of these components in the team or in the company to understand what AI can do for you or what you want to do with AI. Starts from data. Do you actually have people who understand analytics? Are you only going to depend on AI for it? Or will you actually have feedback from people or actual people who are looking at the data to tell you if it's right or not? And then the strategy. Most marketing companies, I'm sure you guys have already an existing strategy. How does AI come into it? How do you integrate that and onto what part of your strategy? And then management. It's absolutely important to have all of these talk to each other. You can have AI embedded in certain part of your workflows, know what the boundaries are. So what AI can do and what part of AI does human confirm. Let me give you an example. If you have an AI chatbot where people can ask everything about your company, if there is critical information like passwords or access or resetting passwords or whatever it is, that's where human needs to come in. AI cannot do that for you. When it comes to signing off um, a campaign, a reel, a photo, it's only AI who can come. AI can give you an idea, but it's only a human who can come in and sign off for you. Cross departments, if it's a big company, how do you work between the departments, especially when you have different platforms? Does everybody know what role they play and up to what stage is their role? And like with any campaign, feedback mechanism, when you capture the data on AI, do you actually have interactions in place where people can come in and check and actually stop the process if you need to, and have a human backed backup plan in place if you have to? If suddenly all the AI systems stop working, do you have something in place where humans can intervene and say, okay, we will talk to you for now for the next week? Scaling up, like every company, start small. Start using it for one part, then second part, like SendPulse. They have 7, 8, 10 different offerings. Start with one or two, see how it works with your ecosystem, and then grow from there. I'm going a bit quick now because I think we're also running short of time. What are the challenges in AI? Obviously, everybody looks at the price first. AI is expensive. Try to find smaller language models, smaller AI models like Llama and others, which can be downloaded and self-hosted. The more you use online models, the more the cost will go up. But if you download the offline and open source models, you will see they perform quite well, but they work offline in your offices. Technology to connect AIs, APIs, integrations, that also becomes a challenge because with that comes the skills gap. People don't have the necessary skills to actually use AI properly or efficiently. And then there's a resistance because a lot of people who are into that sector, like for example, copywriters, designers, coders, they refuse to use AI because they're resistant to change. They're reluctant, they don't want AI to come in. Like I said, they will only lose their job to people who know AI, who know how to work efficiently. Then AI is not going to take their job. And AI is here to complement your work. For example, when you're into designing a photo, yes, it's wrong to use completely AI generated photo. But if you have a photo and you want to remove the background, yes, use AI to remove the background. It's going to save you a bit of time. So you need to know where to use it and when not to use it. Literacy governance is a big problem, and ethical implications as well, because if you're using your client's data without proper policies in place, clients can sue you. If client's data pops up in one of your AI models, they won't like it. They will definitely look at legal challenges or move to another company. So make sure you have policies and governance systems in place. Um, like I said, look at what your team has. What do you need to upskill? Let your team start upskilling now before it's too late. Or get an AI expert to come teach your team to how to make it more efficient. Ethical concerns, like I said, can be data privacy, but it can also be a bias. Some AI doesn't give you all the answers. Some AI is not trained on all the information. I'll tell you example. If you use any AI, any of them, go ask your AI today, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, any of them. Tell your AI to create a glass of wine full up to the top. No AI has been able to do it yet. And that's just one of many restrictions of limitations of AI. It cannot create a glass full of wine because there are no photos of glass full of wine. So AI doesn't know it's possible. And that's the reality. AI is trained on real world data. So it's something one has to understand to say, okay, you know what? We do need to come in and tell AI what to do, how to do, And at the end of the day, our jobs are not going to go to a system that doesn't understand humanity. AI analytics in any field, not just marketing, you need human validation, you need feedback, you need to improve, you need a human AI approach where it's hybrid, it's both working with each other, training. And this is where a lot of times it helps if you have your own AI model, open source model like Llama, downloaded onto your servers and trained, which is not even connected to internet. It's trained on your own data. Key trends, like I said, hyper personalization is coming in, generative AI is getting really good, predictive analytics, AI optimized advertising, and cookieless future. You know, a lot of the new browsers don't have cookies. Apple phones don't allow you to track. So how do you, as a marketing company, identify your clients if there's no way to really track them? And this is where AI can definitely help you because it can link a lot more data together. If I may ask, how much time do I have? Elena? Okay.
Hey, Nrupesh, if you have some time, you can just keep
Can I do 10 more minutes?
the 5, 10. What?
Okay.
How much time do you need?
It's only like 8 more slides. It's fine.
Yeah, sure.
So five
We can
five
do
minutes.
that.
So the future trend is now going towards voice and visual search. Yes, we have now learned how to use AI for text and photos. But what's happening now is it's able to understand your voice. It's able to understand the videos. It's understand the screenshots. It's able to use a photo of a shirt and put it on you quickly. You can talk to AI. So a lot of AI interactions currently now, AI, in 2024, most of the searches were actually voice and image inputs than text. We are talking a lot more to AI. If you see ChatGPT's interactive voice version, people talk to it. It's like you're talking to a friend and you're just conversing. And that's where things are going now. It's good, but it's also something we can really use better if you put it as part of your processes. Generative AI, obviously everybody's using it, but the future is going more into videos. You see more the new innovation, new updates from Canva recently, last week. If you see what Adobe Premiere now allows you to do, Premiere paid Premiere version now allows you to add 5 seconds to any video. So you can open a video in Premiere, just say, okay, I want these 5 seconds, and it adds it using AI. So you can see how quickly things are changing. And the only way to keep up is learning and start using these platforms to see what's the best we can do. AI and augmented reality. Yes, it might not be as much everywhere, but you will see now in a lot of shops, Ray-Bans, branded shops, you will see a lot of people coming in. You stand in front of the screen and AI can then put clothes on you. Yes, it was always there, but it wasn't this good. Same with 3D rendering. Now with 3D printers and platforms with AI that allow you to create 3D models, you can use the platform, create a 3D model of a headphone or a phone or something and just use a 3D printer to print it. It's become extremely quick. And like I said, the cookieless future, we won't be having segmentation because of cookies now. People are very concerned about their privacy. So this is where we need to start using AI to analyze the first party data better instead of what cookies used to do. Cookies were always third party data. You search on Google, it goes on to Google cookies. So other websites would be able to use it. All that is going away. So one needs to understand how to use your own clients, your own platform's data better. AI, like I say, it's the new normal. It's real time. It's all the time. It's everywhere. You talk to AI, you open a phone, open an app, everybody's talking about AI. Don't use it just for yourself. Use it to grow your business, improve your campaigns, use it for the clients. Because most clients don't know how to use it. Most people don't know how to use AI best. And if you put in an effort to actually find the best way to integrate it with platforms like SendPulse, you will see a massive growth in clients and business. Like, just wrapping up, we're almost there. Strategy first, technology second. Without a strategy, you won't be able to use a lot of the platforms. Make sure you have measurable impact. Start small, scale smart. And then ethics, transparency, make sure human element is always there in anything you do with AI. Otherwise, AI can hallucinate. AI can make your company's reputation go down very quickly if you depend on it for everything without checks in place. And that's it. Thank you so much. Feel free to connect to me on email or LinkedIn. Happy to answer more. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.
Okay, Nirbash, thank you very much. It was really great, a lot of insights for me, for instance, and a lot of information and a lot of useful things. Thank you for use cases. It was really, really useful. I can't see any other questions in the live chat. You mentioned for example, picked up the questions from Chloe. Could you recommend some AI tools that can help with setting up analytics from scratch? But then you tell us some tools, how to maybe you can add something to that. Maybe I don't know about AI
I,
tools.
I, I always tell people most of the tools are already with you. We just don't use them enough. I can guarantee, like if you look at as example of Google Analytics, most of us don't use it enough. Look at SendPulse, look at Canva, look at the basic tools we all use. If you actually spend time reading into the tools, go through the documentation, you'll be surprised how much one can do just with the basic platform. And again, I come back to SendPulse because with the AI integration and the automation, you really don't need a lot of other tools except to send the data somewhere and then use Google Analytics or Google Looker Studio, Google Sheets. Even if you use Google Sheets, you can use Google Sheets AI to start then visualization. On Google Sheet, there's something called charts and pivot tables. If you start using it, you can see the nice graphs in Google Sheet already. So what I always tell people is start understanding on your business what you need, where do you need AI, where are you struggling the most, and then see what platforms you need. Because analytics is very big field. With social media, you have analytics. With emails, you have analytics. With WhatsApps, you have analytics. With websites, you have analytics. So how do you put them all together? That's something
Yeah.
you need to know from your use case. There is no one platform for everything, unfortunately.
Yes, I like it. Thank you. And it looks you addressed all the questions. And as we near the end of the session, maybe is there anything to add or wrap up or to highlight something for our
No,
viewers?
I think, no, this was great. I think I've given enough for people to think about more and look more for now. And, in a month or 2 months or 3 months, we can do another one to update where even now, if we can get some more people to contact and say, okay, we want to do a follow-up session or something. We want to, like, this is a more of a web education side. Maybe we can do a ask me question session just on asking questions, and I'm happy to help as well to say, how can we help? What questions do you have? And I can interact with them also live. Also happy to do that. But otherwise, thank you so much for the opportunity.
It would be great. Thank you for the idea. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your valuable tips and insights, flows, use cases, a lot of theory. It's very important theory and history of the AI. Guys, be sure to connect with Nirpesh on LinkedIn and follow SendPulse on social media to stay connected. Once again, and I can see, thank you to Nirpesh, to you from our viewers, from Chloe, Jen, Tatiana. So, and thank you from me. It
No,
was really great.
you're more than welcome. Happy to.
My pleasure. So, And we would be happy to see you again as our speaker here at our webinars. So once again, a big thank you to all of our viewers for joining us today. Your participation means a lot to us. Stay tuned to our social media for updates on future webinars and events. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you join us again. Thank you and wish you all a wonderful week ahead.
Thank
Goodbye
you.
and
You
take
too. Thanks so
care.
much. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.